Welcome to the presentation of George Brown College's fundraiser for SickKids Foundation. SickKids Foundation has been a long-running hospital located in Toronto for children 18 and under. It is affiliated with University of Toronto. SickKids Foundation's main goal is to improve the health of children all across Canada. They also provide support and services for low-income families. The project is to raise funds from selling food and drinks at 4 GBC campus locations: St. James, Casa Loma, Waterfront, and Ryerson, and donate all the proceeds to the SickKids Foundation VS Limits campaign. This project is needed because SickKids Foundation wants to facilitate the growing population of Ontario and Canada in its hospital. They also want to introduce cutting-edge technology to increase speed and efficiency of SickKids hospital activities. GBC, SickKids, and the general public will all be benefiting from this project, as it will increase positive awareness for George Brown College, give the staff and students a moral boost, a sizable donation for SickKids Foundation to reach their goals, and finally better service, equipment, and more space for SickKids patients.
So the next part, we are talking about four main plans in the project. The first one is agreement with SickKids Foundation and George Brown College. Before start the fundraising, we need to get the permission from SickKids and George Brown College. So we need to have a meeting with SickKids in order to acquire the permission of using their name. And then we need to meet the president of George Brown College's Student Association to acquire the rights to use the cafeteria spaces in campuses. Secondly, hire volunteers for this project. We divide two parts of volunteer registration, which are general volunteer program and culinary volunteer program. After volunteer selection finished, we need to schedule and train the volunteers. The third plan is prepare the ingredients for the events. Before we prepare the ingredients, we need to select the drinks and pastries products, and then request volunteers to make the food and drinks one day before the event. Lastly, advertise our project. We have two strategies for advertising. First one is to look for a George Brown College student in design program to design a flyer poster for us. And second is to create social media accounts, for example, Facebook and Instagram fan page, to update the latest news.
Next, we are going to talk about the cost. Cost is one of the most crucial elements for every project. It should be settled with thorough discussions so that no extra budgets are not needed to be used. In terms of the required budgets for the project, there are two major budgets needed to be made. First, payments for stakeholders should be settled. Since volunteers, including chefs, volunteered for this project not for material rewards but for being of assistance for sick children, payments for them are not required to be made. Payments for project team members, the stakeholders needed to be paid, however, are based on salary base, which is $53 per day and $3,200 for the whole spend for each member. Second, the cost for crucial activities, which are advertisement, including webpage and social service network, ingredients for food and beverages, and materials like utensils ought to be estimated. The budget for each activity is shown on this slide, which is $1,200 for advertisement, $2,000 for ingredients, and $4,200 for materials. However, since no activity should be assumed to be proceeded without any unexpected issues, extra budgets, which is 15% of each activity is budget, needed to be made.
Now we are going to talk about the risk of these projects. Like any other projects, this campaign remains some specific risk that we should take into considerations. The top risk here is that the locations are not available on the event's date. The money gets stolen, lack of volunteers, the ingredients are not ready to use, and the last one is incorrect information about the events. Now we're discussing the mitigation strategy for those risks. First of all, we need to make sure that the locations are available by booking it 1 month in advance with George Brown College. And after that, we need to confirm with them 1 week before the event date. Next, in order to avoid the risk of losing the money or the money gets stolen, we can limit cash on hand. $500 will be the maximum amount of money that will be available, and the rest will be deposited to the project manager's bank account. In order to make sure that we have enough volunteers on the event days and the prep days, we can open the registration for outside students or shift from unpaid volunteer to paid volunteers. And another risk is not having enough ingredients on the prep days. We can mitigate this by confirm with the suppliers few days before the prep days, or we can purchase from the local supplier, for example the supermarket, if the ingredients cannot be available. At that point, we need to accept that the cost of the ingredients will be increased, but the contingency allowance will cover the difference. Last but not least is incorrect information about the events, and we can reduce this risk by make sure all the details are correct, or we can update all the correct posts on George Brown College website or SickKids Foundation website. We can also assign some volunteers to announce the details of the events at the entrance of George Brown College. Doing those mitigation, we will maximize the success of the events and make sure that the events will be run smoothly.
Next, we interviewed some George Brown College students to ask about their opinions on the project.
Okay, hi, my name is William, and I'm a member of the project, which is we are doing the project for donation for the sick kids, and the event is about raising the money for the sick kids. So I have some question for you. So can you please introduce yourself first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Haisa, and I'm HR program 2 years.
Okay. The first question is, what do you think about our project?
I think it's amazing when you can help people and at the same time you can do something cool like eat.
Thank you. Okay, the second question is, would you like to buy the food for donation?
Yes, for sure. I love when they have different kind of food at the food court, and for sure we like enjoy and eat it and buy.
Thank you. And the last question is, would you like to volunteer of this project if we have the chance for you?
Yeah, sure. I volunteer for the International Ambassador Program.
Oh, that's so good.
I appreciate to do this for sick kids too.
Thank you. That would be so great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Preeti. I'm just at the park wondering if anyone here will answer a couple of questions that I have about our Sick Kids charity event. Oh, hey there. Hey.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Sorry to scare you. I'm just wondering if you have a minute.
Yeah. No, just reading text. Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the organization Sick Kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
So me and my team, we're having a charity event where we make food and all of the proceeds go towards Sick Kids.
Okay,
We're just
that's
wondering
great.
what you think about this.
Yeah, it's SickKids is definitely a great organization. I know being as a child once, like that's one of the greatest times, like growing up. So SickKids does a really great job bringing kids back to just being a kid again and just nurturing them and recovering them. Yeah,
Cool.
but so you volunteer with SickKids?
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, would you be willing to be a volunteer?
Yeah, I think we'd be great partners. Yeah, you want to give me your number and maybe we can.
That's funny. I'll actually give you the number to Sick Kids. Hey guys, so based off the responses that we got, it looks like a lot of people are actually willing to volunteer for Sick Kids because it's such a highly renowned organization. And so based off these results, I would say that my team is going in the right direction when it comes to hosting a charity event. And once again, this is Preeti signing out.
Next, we are discussing the mitigation strategies for low risk.